We acknowledge the homeland of the many diverse First Nations and Métis people whose ancestors have walked this land since time immemorial. We are grateful to work, live, and learn in the traditional territory of Treaty 8. Additions, just a few comments. Additions to the agenda. Any additions to the agenda? I heard a desire for council to discuss the electoral boundaries issue. Okay, so let's stick that on here. Under new business, I guess, that would be an 8.4. Also under council information, item 14. I don't know if there's a handout got circulated to everybody, but it's a letter from the Heart River Housing on their 25-point system. And if you don't have it by that time, you will have it. Again, the agenda will end, as is my practice, with a roundtable and asking for councillors for any future topics they wish to add. And under 5.1, there is the draft minutes of the Committee of the Whole. The Committee of the Whole normally does not have any motions in it. That ban is on motions pertaining to council's business. But of course, the committee has motions dealing with its own business, meaning the come to order, the approval of the agenda, and the approval of the minutes. So we'll deal with the draft minutes of the Committee of the Whole at the Committee of the Whole meeting, okay? Are there any other additions or subtractions from the agenda? I would entertain a motion to adopt the agenda as amended. Councillor Temple, any other questions or comments about the agenda? All those in favor? Aye. Now we have citizens here, and to accommodate their time pressures, I would like to leap to item 8.3. 8.3, land use bylaw, 8-plex building, request for decision. 8.3. That's your page 32. CAO, did somebody from the Municipal Services Agency, was someone coming in to talk on that, or?
Yes, but we told them to show up at 6:30, thinking there'd be committee discussion
okay.
first. Sorry about that. So you may want to wait on 8.3.
Okay. Brian and Pauline, we have to wait till 6:30 for the representative from the Municipal Services Agency who writes this material up, okay? So please bear with us, and we'll stay on the agenda then. There are no scheduled delegations and no public delegations. Moving on then to the minutes. These are the minutes of the regular meeting of council of November 4th. Oh, sorry, yeah.
October 27th.
October 27th. Was that us?
Yes,
Yeah, it was us.
Yeah.
Any questions or comments on the minutes? The organizational meeting on October 27th. Entertain a motion to adopt the minutes. Deputy Mayor Martinson, are there any questions or comments about the minutes? If not, all those in favor? Aye. Moving on then for the minutes of the regular meeting on October 28th. Entertain a motion to adopt the minutes. Councilor Persky. These are a little longer. Any questions or comments about the minutes? None, hearing none. All those in favor? Aye. Okay, that takes care of that. Oh, here comes the goodie. The committees. Okay, please note, we have in fact struck 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 committees. That's okay with you. We have, the CEO and I sat down without, a great deal of investigation. We tried to keep the assignments, the number of assignments equal. That does not mean that the frequency of these meetings is equal. We don't necessarily know how often some of these committees meet. Sometimes they may only meet once a year. Others may meet once a month. We'll obviously have another organizational meeting in October, this coming October. Okay, so this lasts for the first year. I do not expect people to just blindly endorse this. I want you to again to look at these and ensure that the public doesn't see in their own mind any conflict of interest between you and a committee that we marked you down for. So please assure yourself of that. We also need to know if there's any committees that you've been marked down for that you feel very uncomfortable being on. Okay? We obviously want you to be able to, contribute in a fulsome way. So if you really feel very uncomfortable about one of these, please let me know now, and we'll try to do a little trade-off right now. Carol? Sorry, Councilor Ann.
Thank you. I do feel uncomfortable being on the both of the library boards, the Highbury Municipal Library Board and the Peace Library Board.
Okay, look, we lump them together because they both deal with the library. Is there any particular reason why you feel uncomfortable?
Because I don't have any involvement and never had any involvement with the library. I was looking at the terms of reference and the meetings for the Peace Library Board this afternoon. And I know there's a lot of people on there. I'd be willing to give it a try, but if somebody else is more interested in it, I'd be willing to give it up too.
I think that's a fair conclusion. Okay. That means, is there someone else who's quite uncomfortable with a committee that they've been marked for and would feel more comfortable with the libraries?
I'd be willing to change
Councilman
it.
Underling?
I'd be willing to change it. Children's Resource Center. That's for you. Go behind the library.
Sure.
That works for council.
Or does anybody feel horribly opposed to them doing a bit of a trade?
Horse trading.
Okay, let the appointment sheet that reflect that The counselors have traded the Children's Resource Council for the two libraries. By the way, the Children's Resource Council and the libraries, to the best of my information, are running really well. So you shouldn't have any controversial items coming up on the agendas. Any other assignments that, or marks that you feel quite uncomfortable with? I'm going to be the alternate for all of them, okay? So we don't have to go through that level of pick them and trade them kind of thing. And like I say, you know, over half of this council is retired and should be able to make every meeting anyway. Go ahead, Deputy Mayor Martinson.
I noticed a couple committees has two counselors, but only one that's been appointed. Is there some reason or?
No, that's just an oversight. Please point them out to us.
There is on the bottom of the page, the Joint Health Professional Attraction and Retention Committee. Says two council, and I'm the only one appointed. One.
Well, you must be carrying the weight of two then.
No, I have the weight of two.
That's merely an oversight. Now, let's see. Oh, no,
She did a 2-for-1, so she got.
yeah, but Counselor Hamlin probably feels in some form of conflict here. You work for the hospital, don't you?
Yes, I work casual for Alberta Health Services.
Okay. Is there anybody who wants to volunteer to add the second seat? The deputy mayor is already occupying the first. This is actually an important one, and if I don't hear somebody, I'll join you. Gone. I'll take it. I'm a poor attender, by the way, so I'm just warning you.
Who's the alternate?
Yeah, you're my own alternate.
And
Counselor Ham.
There are two other committees where there's two council.
Okay, start, tell us where.
The one is Airport Advisory Committee,
You betcha, I see it too.
and the other one is on the bottom, Regional Emergency Management Partnership.
There's emergency all over the place. Okay, let's start with the Airport Advisory Committee. We need another counselor there. Who feels the deputy mayor has volunteered? Are we willing to stick him with it? Oh, sorry, reward him? Okay,
Except this kind
we
of.
will add to that one. And the other one that was pointed out, where was it again?
Regional Emergency Management Partnership.
Yeah, right down here.
It's just you.
And who will join me on the Regional Emergency Management Partnership?
I don't mind doing that.
Anybody else volunteering, fight him for it, twist wrist, whatever? It looks pretty challenging. Thank you, Councillor Minderlin.
And what about an alternate on that? One must be supposed to have an alternate.
We're each other's alternates. Any others of oversights?
We're gonna add the chamber to the list, Chamber of Commerce representative.
Because it's created.
Do we have? Is there
No, we
even
have.
member still active?
According to the mayor, they're gonna be active shortly, but hopefully.
I've been encouraging it. I understand that the road is clear to establishing a new chamber. And I'm hopeful that it will be done by Christmas. So do you want to anticipate membership? Councillor Schunter?
If it's not a conflict of interest, I'll take that one. I don't think
Well, it's
it,
very hard to declare that a chamber of commerce couldn't have a businessman on it.
that's my point. Yeah, I don't think it's a problem, but if council sees it as a problem.
No. Let's, okay. You are
Chamber.
the founding member of the chamber.
Wonderful.
Okay, so let's put that on. Chamber of Commerce. And where are we? Right there. Any other additions, subtractions to the chart? We're not going to have a motion for each counselor. It's going to be an omnibus approval of this document as amended. Okay, any more? Anybody feel that they're trying to get out of one appointment and take on someone else's? Any last minute advice from the CAO?
No, I'll revise the table here and delete the ones we've crossed out, and you'll have it tomorrow morning.
Now, we'll probably, how do we notify these groups? Do we have mailing addresses or phone calls?
They're starting to notify me and asking who, so, and when I review the terms of reference, that'll give me contact names, hopefully. And I'll reach out to them, the ones that haven't reached out to me. I don't know, how regularly some of these committees meet, so I'll find that out too.
Okay, any other comments on committee assignments? I'll entertain a motion to approve the council appointments as amended. Councilor Minderling? Any further comments? Anybody still wanting to duck for cover? Okay, all those in favor, say aye. Carried. Moving on. We have done 6.1. Take it that 6.2 is now done as well. Moving on to 8.1. This is on page 23. An RFP titled Public Communication Approach and Policy. CEO, please introduce it to us.
Yes, we were approached by a firm to consider the establishment of a mobile app. I'm open to the idea that because it'll improve our ability to communicate directly out to those who put their apps on their phones and iPads. It's an effective way to getting our message out. The problem over the past year is we haven't been getting our message out as clearly. We do it on community discussion page, but I think we can reach a broader audience by considering this. Yes, there is an initial, there is a cost to it, both an initial development cost and an annual subscription, and for the support that we need at times. So I'll leave it to council here. I do think it's a good idea.
Okay, thank you for the introduction. A council willing to take the motion? Councilor Sutton.
I move the council directs the CAO to focus efforts on enhancing and updating existing communications channels such as the website. And does not proceed with the RFP for now.
Trying to think of how that one works. Unfortunately, that is a negative motion.
Right.
Negative motions can't, just don't work.
No, you're right. Yeah.
Because a motion has to change A to B. It can't leave us at A. For us to make that motion work, everybody would have to vote against it. Okay, so let's try a rephrase.
It's my page. I don't know how you.
Are you searching for option 2 then? Option 2 is basically a receipt for information, and all motions for information are basically a stop word.
Okay, yeah.
That's right.
So move to receive for information and, can we also direct administration in the same movement? Or is that, that second motion? That's-
Well, no, now you're into two parts and you
Yeah.
can't do two parts unless they,
You can, it's just discouraged, I thought.
well, it just that how do you do a stop order and a go order in the same motion?
Move to accept for information. Final answer.
That's right, and then we can discuss another option,
Yeah.
or you can direct me further.
Yeah, there you go.
So, motion made by Counselor Shunter is that council receive this report for information only. Discussion. Any questions or comments? Counselor Hammond?
So I'm not sure about this app exactly. It says it's two-way, that somebody would be able to converse with us through the app. But during the forest fires, I know Slave Lake used an app called Voyant Alert. And I joined that one just so I could get information on the forest fires. I don't know if it was two-way discussion, but I think there are already apps developed. I don't know the price of this one. But I think it would be worth investigating further.
Okay. Are there any other counselors that want to make a comment on this?
I share my thought process.
Counselor Shunter?
My thought process is that the website already has inaccuracies on it. And why are we adding a new communication channel if we can't keep existing communication channels current and up to date? We have a wonderful email list. I don't see why we don't just utilize that to a little bit more. Maybe we send out bi-weekly emails instead of monthly emails, or we expand the monthly newsletter to be 2 or 3 pages instead of a 1-pager. But you know, if Mr. CAO could share some insights on that, maybe.
Okay, just before the CEO answer that, just to clear up something, we have a wonderful mailing list. What wonderful mailing?
An
list?
email list. So
Email.
everybody in town that signed up for electronic utility payments should be on our email list, should they not? I get a monthly newsletter because I've signed up for online bill payments, right? Is that wrong?
Well, I can tell you that I'm not on that list.
But your wife might be. Who pays?
I,
You do? Yeah. Electronically? Electronic utility payments?
just straight from the bank. I don't even see anything. CEO, your response, please.
I'm not aware of a mass email distribution list that we have ever used to I don't know, communicate a certain message, other than our newsletter, which goes out with the gas invoices. Are you aware of that, Shannon?
Yeah.
So we don't, so what you're talking about,
I'm talking about that newsletter that goes with the gas bills, yeah.
is if you sign up for e-billing for your utility bill, we attach the newsletter to your e-bill. We haven't used that email list in the way that you were
Yeah.
referring to. Our website does have a place that you can sign your email up that way, and we haven't even used that to its full ability yet, but this is a way to communicate directly with the public.
So if I may, the email list that exists does not cover everyone in town. Is that correct?
You have to sign up for e-billing to get.
Okay, so it does not cover everyone in town?
No.
Okay. And your concerns about the website, I think, are actually separate, even if we approved or rejected your basic motion. I think we probably all share any concerns about the website. So let's get back to the motion being to receive this report for information only. Any further questions or comments? Okay, moved by Councillor Shunter that council receive this report for information only. All those in favor? Aye. Carried. Now, we have gentleman related to, where are we? Gotta keep up with him, Jim. Where was it? Land use bylaw 8.3. This particular item was prepared for us by Mackenzie Municipal Services Agency. And let's start. The recommended action for this is that council provide first reading to bylaw number 08-2025 and schedule a public hearing. So this will be our first land use bylaw. And since none of us have done this before in the recent past, got to be careful on getting this all right. Okay, so we'll start with the motion. And then we will ask the representative from the Mackenzie Municipal Services Agency to come forward. And the proponents of it are sitting right there, just so you know who they are. Okay, motion. Councillor Minderly.
That council provide first reading to bylaw number 08-2025 and schedule a public hearing.
Would you please come forward? And we're brand new to you, so please introduce yourself.
Thank you. Hello, everyone. My name is Komiete Tete. I'm Manager of Planning at Mackenzie Municipal Services Agency, and we provide planning services to the town. I believe I know some of you already, including Councillor Herman and Councillor Brian, who worked with us when he was a CEO. So I'm pleased to be here. This proposal is to amend the town's land use bylaw basically to accommodate a multi-unit housing development that is currently not supported within the bylaw from a definitional standpoint. Also the fact that the underlying zoning for the property in question does not support the intended development, and some of the regulatory framework also do not address the current proposal. And this current proposal that I'm referring to is to put up an 8-unit housing development that will have 4 levels at the floor, partially below grade, and another 4 above that, with each unit having separate access at grade. The zone for the property in question is currently R2, which is low density residential and supports mostly single family housing. This one is a higher density development. And so one of the things that the amendment does is to create a use for that and also rezone or redistrict the parcel from R2 to R4, which is designed or intended for multi-unit housing, and also make some tweaks to other regulations within the bylaw, basically to allow this. We have had discussions or consultations with the Public Works Department to examine the services that will be required and all the other issues that are affiliated with this development. If council provides first reading to the bylaw, then pursuant to the Municipal Government Act, public notification will have to be provided. Adjacent landowners would have to be notified, and at the public hearing, council will have to hear anyone who wants to make a submission of views they are impacted by the proposal. And upon consideration of those concerns, either provide second and third reading to the bylaw and accent, which then brings it into effect. Or if there are any concerns, council has the option to amend the bylaw to address those. Or if there are major concerns that council feels does not warrant the adoption of the bylaw, then it can be defeated via a motion of council. If the bylaw is adopted, then we will have to review the development permit application, which will look at the more development in more detail. That is the approval process for that. But because it is currently not supported by the land use bylaw amendment, an amendment is necessary to precede the development permit review and approval. So this is what this basic proposal intends to do. I'll pause here for any questions that council may have.
I have just one clarification. Since there's a first reading, I assume there will be a second and a third if the first is approved.
That is correct, Mayor. So the general process is that council provides first reading and then schedules a date for the public hearing. And then at the public hearing or subsequent to the public hearing, once council has heard from the public, then council can either give second and third reading following the public hearing to the bylaw, which would then formally bring it into effect, or they can, depending on the outcome of the public hearing, if council, for example, feels that off. Sorry. Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yes. If there are concerns raised at the public hearing and council feels that those need to be addressed, then council can halt the subsequent readings of the bylaw until those things are addressed. Or council can give second reading. You still have the opportunity to make other changes before third reading and accent. The bylaw is not in effect until all three readings have been given and has received accent from Mayor and the Chief Administrative Officer.
Okay, I'd like to open the floor for any questions or comments from councilors. Councilors want to ask any questions about this? If we approve this, the next step is first reading and then we go to the public hearing. Okay, Councilor Temple.
Has the services, the sewer and the water thing all been approved, like it'll handle this size of unit?
Yes, based on the preliminary conversations we've had with Public Works, they feel that there is capacity for that. And if there is need for expansion, there is room within the development process to accommodate that. It can be done either through a development agreement that would require the applicant to pay for an expansion of services to accommodate the development because they are bringing additional capacity or need for services. So in that process, it's built the ability to require the applicant to pay for additional or extra cost of services to accommodate development. We felt that among other things, because of the housing challenge in the town, this will increase the housing stock within the town and also maybe provide more affordability in terms of housing options to residents. So yes, based on the discussions that we've had with Public Works, overall, they feel that the service will be able to support it, but if there's a need for any expansion, then that can be addressed. One of the things that we will also discuss with them or resolve with the applicant is parking capacity. So based on the regulations in the land use bylaw, they will end up needing, I believe, 12 parking spaces or and then they have 10 now. So we'll have to work around that because one of the issues that Public Works raises to mitigate or minimize on-street parking for adjacent residences. So we want to make sure that there's adequate parking on site to accommodate the anticipated traffic for the development.
Thank you. Just to clarify then, if the water, sewer, and all the utility connections are not adequate, the upgrade will become the cost of the proponents.
And that is correct.
And you're satisfied that the parking is sufficient?
It is not currently sufficient, but our goal is to work on that once this bylaw process is going through. So there's a little bit of deficiency, and that could be addressed through making tweaks to the plan. You can reduce maybe the building footprint a little bit to allow for that, yeah. So,
Any other
I would say, oh, sorry, if I may add briefly, generally speaking, there's been I guess, pushback somewhat on parking. From a planning standpoint, the pushback has been that too many parking ends up encouraging sedentary lifestyle and taking away land for otherwise development. So we try to be a little bit flexible on that. However, we've also seen challenges that other municipalities that went too far in getting rid of parking standards, like City of Edmonton, they've had big challenges with parking spaces for new housing. So we want to make sure that we maintain that, but also keep some flexibility to allow for situations where they wouldn't create any major impact on the capacity of the road network or the on-street parking capacity adjacent to the development.
Okay, thanks for that fulsome answer. Councilman Miller.
Just one quick question. All we're looking at right now is the bylaw itself. We're not looking at the application. The application wouldn't be accepted or brought forward to the municipal planning commission or to the development officer until such time as the bylaw has been passed, and they would still have to meet everything that's in the bylaw.
That is correct.
So that doesn't no automatic approval for it.
That's
That's what clarify that.
Yes, that's
Thank you.
Thanks for that clarification, Councilman Miller. Any other questions from other councilors? This is our first run at a land use bylaw. Let's get it right. Deputy Mayor?
Still 2 weeks notice, like after.
Yeah, yes. If so, historically, you could only advertise by newspaper or mail notification to the area that is impacted by the proposal. An amendment was made to the Municipal Government Act probably around a couple of years ago that allowed municipalities now to adopt other advertising platforms or notification mechanisms beyond newspaper publication and mailing out. So the town, I believe, has what we call a public notification bylaw that allows the town to use multiple platforms, including electronic advertisement. So we have a wide array of options available to us, but if we go strictly by newspaper advertisement, then it has to be 2 editions of the newspaper concurrency. So 2 runs of the notification in the newspaper. But
The local paper is the paper of record.
yes,
Yeah.
for most or all amendments, we do the newspaper advertisement in addition to electronic and mail out, and just to make sure that there is greater public awareness. So
Councilors, any other questions or comments? See, sorry, Councilman Miller.
Sorry, it'd be the first people asking questions from you, but just one quick thing. With the public hearing, that could be scheduled in conjunction with the council meeting. So then the council could have a council meeting start, they adjourn, go to the public hearing meeting, and then adjourn that meeting and then go back to the council meeting.
yes, Councillor Heman, that is a possibility. I believe the town's practice has been to have the public hearing a little bit earlier than the usual council meeting time. So typically it's around, let's say, 5:30, and then most of the time it doesn't go so long. And then after that, generally speaking, council doesn't give second and third reading after the public hearing has closed. They delay that and then move that into the regular meeting of council to provide the second and third reading.
I expect that we will follow the current practice of meeting at 5:30 before council. Yes. CAO, any comments, questions, advice to us?
No, that's been well explained by Comiate and clarified by Councillor Mindrell. Good, sorry.
Nothing else? Okay, then, on the motion that council provide first reading to bylaw number 08-2025 and schedule a public hearing. All those in favor?
If I may make a suggestion, Mayor, my suggestion would be that council discuss a date for the public hearing so that it will be included in the motion. So that you give first reading.
We'll set the date later after we consult
Oh,
because
okay.
we've got some pressure on our time.
Okay,
Okay.
mindful of this.
All those in favor, it was carried. Any other questions or comments needed to conclude this CAO?
No, nothing further.
Thank you very much for coming. Appreciate it. And I'm sure the proponents appreciate it too.
Thank you.
To the proponents, we've got a real pressure on our time because brand new counselors also have to go to Edmonton Calgary for 3 days and Edmonton for 4 days and everything else. So we have to take a hard look and take a few minutes aside to figure out exactly when we will go to the next step in this process, okay? But obviously, we'll let you know. While you're here, did anybody contact you about your request at the last council meeting, the absence of a back alley?
No.
It appears that the land that you would like to use as back alley doesn't belong to the town. It belongs to the hospital. It's part of the hospital lot. I'm afraid there's nothing we can do to satisfy your request.
Lauren, is the town responsible for, the street, the 47 and also the back alley should have a service order? This is why my theory, I thought it has the town approved a back alley, like a road for the back alley, just to easy access and all that. But if this is the private land, it's a different story. I'm not sure really who's own that land and what's going on with it. So that's why we asking the town for it.
Well, I think we're just as mystified as you are as to who owns that land now. And I think it's time if we are to revisit this topic, it will have to be after we find out who owns what.
Right.
Okay?
This is, the reason is we asking this, when this building is gonna be there, if you have easy access to the back too as well. So that's what we're trying to do.
Yeah, I can certainly see your interest in knowing that, particularly with the project you are proposing. But there's nothing we can do now until we find out who is who.
Right. Won't make a difference anyway for this matter, but it's be easier for the future. Talking about the future wise, so.
I am assuming that the McKenzie Municipal Services Agency took into account in their evaluation of this so far that there is no back alley access.
Okay.
But probably if you were ever to get one, it would certainly
Be nice.
ease the access, yeah.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Okay, are there any other comments? As I said before, after the delegations are taken care of, we will recess, go into committee of the whole. Okay? Okay? A motion to recess this meeting. To go into the committee of the whole. Deputy Mayor made the motion. All those in favor of the recess, carry. And you will take it into a bit of a 5 or 10 minute body break as well.
I'll be honest between you.
Me too,
Yeah.
I'll figure it out.
Through you.
I know, and I'm struggling to build up the muscle memory for that. I don't think it's Mr. CAO, I think it's David Joy, isn't it? Is it David Joy, is it Mr. Joy or Mr. CAO, or how do I call you?
Yeah,
CAO.
you can just say CAO.
CAO.
In
Okay.
council meetings.
I feel
Or
bad.
CAO Joy.
Yeah.